Hey everyone, I'm back with another update. In this episode, I'll cover Antifa's attack on TPUSA at UC Berkeley, the government shutdown, and the Veterans Day events in DC. Of course, I'll end with the noteworthy tidbits. Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon is launching an investigation into UC Berkeley for allowing a total war zone to break out at the Turning Point USA event on campus. Dillon explained, the Civil Rights Division will investigate what happened here, and I see several issues of serious concern regarding campus and local security and Antifa's ability to operate with impunity in California. She formally demanded UC Berkeley preserve all records regarding their response to the mob violence, and she said there may be federal criminal charges filed with investigations into both the university and local police. Dillon explained, it is not a both sides problem. When a violent mob like Antifa comes in and attacks like this, it's what we call a heckler's veto. In First Amendment jurisprudence, and given the fact that there has now been a terrorist designation here, the Joint Terrorism Task Force is going to be looking into this together with the DOJ and the FBI. She also said, I also have concerns about UC Berkeley's history of not protecting conservative speakers on the campus. And I also have concerns as the top civil rights lawyer in the United States about whether the Berkeley police are doing their job under the law to protect citizens equally. That's an equal protection concern. It's the type of thing that we do bring in the Civil Rights Division, and we are going to be looking at that very seriously here in this case. Andrew Colvin announced that it's been confirmed that not only did Antifa plot an ambush on TPUSA's UC Berkeley, but leftists are fraudulently grabbing up tickets to their events en masse to make sure less conservatives can attend. Colvin explained the situation by saying, this was an absolutely coordinated attack to disrupt the event, and thank goodness they failed. We had to switch to the university's ticketing system, which opened it up to far-left disruptors to grab those tickets. So about 500 people didn't show up. They grab the tickets, then leave it empty to make it look like we don't have a big, growing movement after Charlie's assassination. They either got scared away, harassed, or attacked. And the university's response? It's not our job to fill your event. Well, we filled it anyway. On to the government shutdown. While no final vote occurred on November 11th, procedural advancements and judicial decisions kept the endgame in motion amid ongoing economic fallout like flight delays and food insecurity. President Trump reiterated support for the deal, promising bonuses for essential workers, but Democratic infighting over the compromise intensified. Late in the day, the Republican-controlled House Rules Committee voted 8-4 along party lines to send the Senate-passed CR to the full floor for debate and a vote. This procedural hurdle cleared the way for potential passage as early as 4 p.m. today, November 12th. The measure includes full-year funding for agriculture, military construction, Veterans Affairs, and the legislative branch, plus a short-term extension through January 2026. It also mandates rehiring any federal workers dismissed at the shutdown's outset and sets a mid-December Senate vote on Affordable Care Act subsidies, though without guaranteed extension. After a 53-day recess, lawmakers trickled back to Washington, navigating airport chaos from FAA staffing shortages. Speaker Mike Johnson stressed urgency, briefing GOP members on the plan during a morning call. Centrist Democrats signaled willingness to cross lines if needed, offsetting potential conservative holdouts. Top House Democrats, led by Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, vowed opposition without stronger ACA protections, calling the deal a surrender. The 8 Senate Democratic defectors faced sharp rebukes, and Fetterman defended his vote, saying his party crossed a line by prolonging suffering. Progressives warned of 2026 midterm fallout as ACA premiums are projected to spike without subsidies. The court extended a pause on a lower court order requiring full November SNAP payments, siding with the Trump administration's appeal to freeze benefits amid the shutdown. Justices opted for a path of least resistance, deferring deeper review in anticipation of reopening, leaving 42 million recipients in limbo and boosting food bank demand. FAA delays persisted, with over 1,500 flights canceled or delayed nationwide due to unpaid air traffic controllers. Trump pledged $10,000 bonuses for those who worked through the crisis, and community responses ramped up. Let's switch to the Veterans Day events in Washington, D.C. President Trump and Vice President Vance, accompanied by Veterans Affairs Secretary Doug Collins and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington Cemetery. The ceremony included a silent salute during the playing of the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, and a performance of God Bless America. Military officials and a color guard were present, with the event broadcast live and drawing a crowd of attendees, including cabinet members like Interior Secretary Doug Burgum and Education Secretary Linda McMahon. Trump and Vance delivered remarks at the Memorial Amphitheater, with Trump delivering the keynote at the annual National Veterans Day observance. Trump praised veterans as the mighty wall of flesh and blood, defending freedom for 250 years, and he touted administration achievements, including an executive order for the National Center for Warrior Independence aiming to house 6,000 homeless veterans by 2028. Trump also confirmed that since he took office, veterans' unemployment rate has plummeted by over 26%. As a Marine Corps veteran, Vance spoke briefly, urging Republicans to personally thank veterans for their service and sacrifice, stating, "Veterans Day is not just about history, it's about honoring the living who continue to defend our freedoms." He emphasized ongoing support for service members and highlighted the day's role in fostering national pride. Earlier in the day, or the day prior per some reports, Vance toured the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center with Second Lady Usha to meet wounded active duty service members and veterans in therapy. The visit focused on observing advanced care and rehabilitation, reinforcing commitments to veteran health investments. Vance shared photos on X, captioning them with gratitude for those making us proud every single day. Now it's time for the noteworthy tidbits, which are brought to you today by Big Fork Brands. Let me tell you about them quick. Sometimes I get on a roll cleaning or gardening, and I need a boost but don't have time for a meal. Big Fork Brand's pork jerky is the perfect choice to keep my momentum, offering high-protein snacks for on-the-go energy boosts. Not only do they offer pork jerky, but they also make pork sticks, bacon sausage, bacon hot dogs, and burger and hot dog sauces. Products come in a variety of delicious flavors, including Thai green curry and maple and brown sugar for the meat options, and gangster and Chicago fire for the sauces. I personally think the original flavor of the pork jerky hits just right after tackling a big chore. It's a little salty and very flavorful. My discount code gives you 20% off your entire order, and it's currently the best deal available. Just visit bigforkbrands.com and enter in my promo code JADE, that's JADE, at checkout. All right, let's get back to the tidbits. Harris County, Texas was caught illegally sending over $1.3 million in taxpayer funds to prevent the deportation of criminal illegal aliens, with the funds flowing into NGOs that fight President Trump in court. In response, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing Harris County because, in his words, "We must stop the left-wing radicals who are robbing Texans to prevent illegals from being deported by the Trump administration." President Trump endorsed Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and Texas Governor Greg Abbott for re-election. Utah Representative Matt McPherson is filing to impeach a radical leftist judge who unilaterally created a new Democrat congressional district. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is now in Canada for the G7 meeting. President Trump has now confirmed that if the Supreme Court strikes down his sweeping tariffs, the total amount that would need to be paid back will exceed $3 trillion, so let's hope the Supreme Court approves the tariffs. Trump also announced that he's going to lower tariffs and bring in more coffee so that the prices go down. That's all I have for today. I'll be back with another update soon. Until then, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast, and follow me on Instagram and X at Shades of Jade Pod. Thank you for listening and have a great day.